Happy Halloween, everybody! That's right. We of the Incredible Hoax celebrate Halloween.
Must have brain.
You know all those people out there that like Halloween's evil and of the devil. We're like, even if it is, we're still gonna do it.
Must have brain.
So we're gonna do the whole show like this. Not.
I have to take my mask off?
I don't care. You can leave it on.
I
can't leave this. I'll die if I'll suffocate. Plus, it smells with that weird plastic smell.
Mine has a wonderful marshmallow and rubber smell.
Well, you're lucky. Mine's got that weird plasticky, like it's like I've been in a box of condoms or something.
Which is going to be in our that subscription only
exactly.
segment we're going to do one of these days.
Yeah. Well, I'm Criss Hoke, writer for Red Sea Television, and this is
Mark Hoke, movie enthusiast, writer, composer, and excited to be here. Happy Halloween, everybody!
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween!
Should we start with just favorite Halloween film?
Well, when you say favorite Halloween film, do you mean of the Halloween series or just scary movie in general?
Just scary movie.
I don't know. The Shining is probably my favorite horror movie ever. Last time we talked about horror movies, there was some horror movie that I thought of afterwards, and I was like, oh, I should have mentioned that one. And now we're back to talking about scary movies. I can't think of what it is.
And you forgot.
Forgot again. But the old Frankenstein, probably The Shining is my favorite. But the old Frankenstein from the 30s, the Wales movie.
Yeah, the James Wales version.
That's
excellent.
That's an excellent movie, man. Creepy.
My absolute favorite is absolutely Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. It's epic. I'm in character.
Well, he keeps talking with the knife in his hand. I'll be like, oh God, move.
Must have brain. Okay. But Stanley Kubrick, he's just one of my favorites, and it's an epic horror film. How many epic horror films have there been made? Maybe 2 others. I mean, it's very few. It's terrific. It's Jack Nicholson's greatest performance. But I have other favorites as well. But that is absolutely the tops as far as I'm concerned.
You know what's been my favorite horror movie of the last, I'll say 10 years or so?
What's that?
Was 28 Weeks Later. Not 28 Days Later, which was
but
really
the
good.
Sequel.
I loved the sequel. I thought the sequel was just awesome, man. God, I thought that was a good movie. I mean, it was a roller coaster, and it just kept hitting you over the head with things going on, and it was just intense as hell, man. That was a great freaking horror movie. And the scene where she's down in the subway station, and all you can see is through her night vision scope.
Right, and you hear the breathing.
Oh, yeah. It's just, it's that intense, man. Beautiful movie. Great movie, man. Great movie. So, go check out 28 Weeks Later if you haven't watched it.
Great.
Faux show. It's hard talking to him. I don't know if it's the mask or the knife or both, or the fact that he talks with his hands by nature, and he's got a knife in his hand, and I'm
auditioning for the next Halloween Glee.
I'm scared.
It'd be like obscure Halloween episode.
Yeah.
I always feel like a Rockwell song or something. But yeah, horror movies, we've discussed this before, is, I don't think, either of our favorite genre. But what are some others, like maybe people have seen The Shining, or even 28 Weeks Later. Maybe it's one other, maybe that's kind of off the beaten path, that kind of was a little different, that people may, like a rental suggestion.
Rental suggestion. Well, that's a good question. Yeah, I'm a big fan of zombie movies. I would say go rent the original Dawn of the Dead. That's the one on the shopping mall, right? Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah,
that would be my rental suggestion, because I am a big zombie movie fan. I'm not a big horror movie fan, but the subgenre that I appreciate the most is zombie flicks. I like zombie movies.
Right. Well, and there's been so many zombie video games that have been inspired by that particular film as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are like, well, how come they don't make a movie about that video game? Well, they already did.
It's called Dawn of the Dead.
It's called Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, the Dead Rising.
Check it out.
The Dead Rising video game series owes a lot
Right.
to Dawn of the Dead, which I love those video games too, by the way. And but yeah, Dawn of the Dead's my pick.
Okay. Mine is going to surprise you.
What's that?
People don't know this, but Akira Kurosawa actually did one horror movie.
Oh, really?
Throne of Blood. Throne of Blood. Check it out. You wouldn't think with being at the feudal era of Japan and samurais that you'd have a creepy horror movie, but these two samurai best buddies are on their way back to their fort when they get stopped by an evil spirit in a forest.
Right.
And then the movie just goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
Check it out. A lot of fun.
You know what? Before we end this segment, you can't have a horror movie discussion without a black cat. And this is Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Our black cat. See his little tie? This is Lucy's little tie. They got a garage sale for him. But this is Lucy, and he's a black cat, so he's making a special appearance for Halloween. So say hi, Lucy. You can go now, cutie.
That sounds like a hello.
Sort of. So we will be right back.
Must have brain. Welcome back, everybody, to The Incredible Hoax. All things movies.
All things movies.
Yeah.
We've put away childish things like Halloween and moved on to all things movies.
Now we're in the fall festival segment.
For all you fundamentalists
For all
out there.
you squeamish people out there.
I love Halloween. I really do. It's not my favorite holiday, and I don't like to wear costumes and stuff, but I do really like Halloween.
Well, I kind of was the kid, though. If you went to whether it was your neighbor's house or at school and you went trick or treat and they went trick, I mean, that was the person I beat up after school. It's like, you smart.
Yeah. I just wanted my candy.
Just give me the candy.
Just give me selfish amounts of candy.
That's one of those things that don't we all just accept that as Americans? Yeah, we say trick or treat. Yeah, it's like it's optional or something. No, it's treat.
Yeah.
There is no trick.
Just give us the damn candy. I mean,
I
want selfish amounts of it. I'll be upfront about it. When I get my candy, I want like an obscene amount that's all for me.
Yeah.
I ain't into. It's like this whole thing now with Easter egg hunting and trick or treating. Oh, we'll get the candy and we'll put it all in a big pile and everybody gets an equal share. Screw that! If I busted my butt to get a lot of candy, by God, I want a lot of candy.
Well, there's certain candies I wasn't big on.
Yeah.
So they'd want to give you mounds of that. I'd always be like, no, give me more of, this kind, not that. And sometimes you could get away with that.
Well, I mean, one thing was always just trade. I mean, we would trade, like in school, we would trade.
Yeah. Anything with coconut, I still to this day, I don't like coconut. So if they give me candy with coconut, I'm looking to trade that. I'm stuck with this.
Then you always get this one dumbass who gives you like erasers and stuff at Halloween. I was like, really? Erasers and really? Candy, please.
But if you put enough Hershey's syrup on it, it might go down okay. I'll try that.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think we're ready to move on to all things movies.
All right.
We want to talk a little bit about actors and actresses that we admire. And this is kind of an either-or segment.
Okay.
And since we're gentlemen, ladies go first.
We'll ridicule the women first. Got it.
Yes, I think.
I love ladies.
Yes.
I love the women.
Ready? Here we go. Which of the following actresses do you admire most? Here's our first set. Katharine Hepburn or Meryl Streep?
Now, when you say admire, we really mean admire in the pure sense?
Of course.
In the Christian sense?
And the... Yeah. Let me just clarify.
Or is this who I want to nail the worst? I mean, come on.
No. That's our subscription show. That we're doing like pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
No. This is like from an artistic. Who do you think is a better
do you
talent?
remember Throw 'Em Off on the Train, where that guy read the coffee table book? He wrote the coffee table book.
Yeah, we're not doing that. It's not whacking material.
So I won't tell you who I want to nail the first. Okay,
Yeah.
Katharine Hepburn and Meryl Streep. Oh man, they're both classic actresses, and it's a win-win in terms of just sheer acting power. I would take Meryl Streep just because she comes from the modern age of acting, which I appreciate a whole lot more, and Katharine Hepburn comes from the old school. So I would definitely take Meryl Streep. But man, that's like a win-win. That's like,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you now, wording up. I've intentionally made a lot of these really tough.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's like, you want, Brady or Manning, in football. I mean, it's a win-win. You're going to be okay either way. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take Meryl Streep just because she's in the modern age, and I appreciate the modern age more.
Well, and I'll take Katharine Hepburn because I just think that she's kind of the gold standard as far as actresses.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
And she did have success, kind of playing the socialite screwball comedies. She did that wonderfully. But she's also a wonderful dramatic actress as well.
Yeah.
I'll never forget in Rooster Cogburn the scene where she is getting shot at. This cowboy's trying to intimidate her. She's playing a nun, and he's shooting at her feet, trying to intimidate her to get her to stop praying. And she was of an advanced age at the time.
Yeah.
She doesn't blink. She just holds her own. It's just such a. That to me was just like if I could bottle up her career in one scene and just how fearless she was, that would be it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And Meryl Streep has played similar parts, but she's also added a layer of vulnerability to it as well, even within those circumstances. And that's kind of I always like, but then again, that goes within the modern age.
Sure.
I mean, that's just the modern age of acting and lots of things, really, to allow for the little cracks in the mirror.
Yeah.
And Meryl Streep is more of that type of actress. So again, that just kind of goes. But like I said, win-win.
Yeah. None of these are going to be wrong answers.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one. And some of these, I'm going to tell you now, if you feel like passing because they're older actresses or actors.
Yeah. I get you. Well, just for all the guys knows, you're more of a student of the old movies than I am. I've seen a lot of them too, but you really have focused and purposely saw a lot of the 50s.
Yeah, the golden age.
The golden age movies. I haven't, I've seen sort of the highlights, and I haven't really delved into as deep as you have. But go ahead.
All right.
Lay it on me.
Next one, Jean Arthur or Myrna. Let me start over, folks. Jean Arthur or Myrna Loy.
Jean Arthur was in what?
Shane. She was in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. You Can't Take It With You.
It'd probably be a pass.
Well, I would say Myrna Loy. She
you bastard! Look at me! Look at everybody's at home like, well, we see who the film story is now, isn't it? He's purposely set me up with these questions.
No, I promise. There's like modern people. Bear with me, folks. Yeah. Well, anyways, anybody wants to check out any of the Thin Man movies or the best years of our lives? She's great in that.
Myrna Loy.
Well,
I recognize both actresses. I needed a little refresher on Jean Arthur, but yeah, I mean, she's Jean Arthur was stunning in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And Myrna Loy, I remember mostly, I guess, from The Thin Man, and she was a good actress. I mean, but they come from a generation of acting that it's just not really my cup of tea.
Well, and what I tried to do is I'm pairing people that had similar attributes or something in common. I mean, there might be a few exceptions here, but Jean Arthur's and Myrna Loy's style is they kind of had that everyday quality. The girl next door in the true sense, not in this post Hugh Hefner sense. But what it really actually meant, girl next door, nice girl, clean, and
not that the girl next door used to sneak over and screw all the time.
Right. Anyway, we're moving on. How about Gene Simmons or Maureen O'Hara?
So the lead singer of Kiss versus me, Maureen O'Hara. Wow, that's an odd combination. No, Maureen O'Hara I love and adore because of all the John Wayne, John Ford. movies. And Gene Simmons has got a really long tongue and some crazy makeup. But now refresh my memory of the actress Gene Simmons because I know the name, but it's
well, she was the love interest in Spartacus. She was in The Robe. Those are some of her most known biggest works.
If that's what she's from, then I'll go with Maureen O'Hara all day long because just based on The Quiet Man alone.
Yeah.
But The Quiet Man, great freaking movie, dude. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Did Maureen O'Hara ever win an Oscar?
Not to my knowledge, no.
The Quiet Man, she was phenomenal in, and in McClintock, she was great in, and she remember the whole long fight scene at the end where he beats the piss out of her for like 12 minutes. She's a great physical actress too, man.
Oh yeah,
great physical actress.
Yeah, that's why she was almost the perfect opposite, to play against John Wayne.
Maureen O'Hara is adorable. I totally love her.
Next would
Who was your pick?
Oh, I'm sorry, Maureen O'Hara. I agree with you. Yeah. She was just she had a spunkiness to her. Jean Arthur just had a wonderful command. I'm sorry, Gene Simmons. Thank you. Getting my actresses messed up. She had a wonderful command of dialogue. Yeah. Maureen had that too. Not as good as Gene Simmons, but Maureen overall, just because she just had such a spunkiness to her. Yeah. She was just such a strong performer. I don't think she had much weaknesses as a performer.
And she was a redhead. And anybody knows me knows I love the redheads. Oh my, heart goes pitter patter for the redheads.
All right, next one.
Next one's Peter Criss and Elizabeth Taylor.
Thank you for just pouring cold water on the whole proceedings.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Judi Dench or Helen Mirren?
I'd go Helen Mirren, just because she's hot. Even if she's old now, she's still hot. So this is the first one I'm doing it based solely on looks. And Judi Dench is, though a fine actress, she's a fine actress. That's all I could say. Well, I'm sure she's a great person. She's got inner qualities. But, there's somebody out there like her. I'm sure she's got kids and all.
So much for my eyebrow, It's talent for talent. I tease him. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, in all honesty, they're both great actresses.
Right.
But they both come from that British school. But honestly, the looks aside, I am serious. Helen Mirren is hot. And was hot, is hot.
Yeah,
and
beautiful lady.
Judi Dench has never can't compete in the looks department. But they're both great actors. The reason I would take Helen Mirren over Judi Dench is Helen Mirren, man. Even though she does the arty highbrow movies, she's in Red and she's done very populist popcorn movies her whole career too. She's bounced back and forth.
Right.
She's mixed it up. And not just done the Shakespearean type stuff. She's done some really populist type roles, which I really appreciate. I a lot of the actors, British actors, get so stoic,
right?
And Helen Mirren is anything but stoic.
That's part of her appeal.
Yeah,
I would agree. She's my pick as well, and it really comes down to this: she's more versatile.
Yeah,
and we're talking in inches here because you're talking about two great actresses, but I do believe she is more versatile, and so that's why I give her the edge.
Yeah, and she's hot.
And next one, Sally Field or Helen Hunt?
Sally Field, without a doubt, no question. And I base that solely on the acting department, but because they're both,
Oh gosh.
We're laughing because we're thinking the same thing about Family Guy skit. But anyway, no, Sally Field is very versatile, as she's aged. Whether she was Gidget. I used to watch the old Gidget shows. Those were good shows.
Yeah,
she was a good actress, and every stage of her career, she's been a great actress.
Oh, absolutely.
And even now, and she's older now, she's still a great actress and does good work. Mm-hmm. Helen Hunt. Is a very good actress, but what happened to her? She's gone. I don't know what she's done in forever. She did, that TV series, and then she did As Good as It Gets and won the Oscar and
Castaway,
and then Castaway, and then
what women want. With Mel
Yeah,
Gibson?
that was probably the last movie, and that's been 10 years? 8 to 10 years?
It seems like it's been a while since we've seen her.
She's disappeared. And she's a great actress, but Sally Field has been consistent for decades.
Right.
And it's just a great actress.
Well, I think, boy, you raised a really good point there. When you're comparing career to career,
longevity.
that longevity, man, that really does hold a lot of weight. But yeah, I would go Sally Field too, because I just think she's, in my opinion, she's always been one of the top in her profession. Yeah. And what else can you say? I mean, she's just one of the tops.
And
versatile.
And everybody needs to go out there and look up the Family Guy episode of where Stewie runs across the bandit, and they say something about Sally Field. And I'll just leave it at that.
For shame.
It's hilarious. You gotta see it.
Next one. Sigourney Weaver or Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh, that is the toughest. That's the toughest one, because I love them both. You know, this was one that I got to break it down to sex appeal, because acting wise, they're both good. They're both great.
Yeah.
I got to go with Jamie Lee, and the only reason why it was set apart, and I know it's chauvinistic to base an actress on her looks, but face it, ladies, if you had to pick between Brad Pitt and Raymond off, what's Ray Romano? Yeah, if you had to pick between Brad Pitt and Ray Romano, I think I know who you're going to pick. Okay, so I would pick Jamie Lee just based on sex appeal, because I've always had a thing for Jamie Lee Curtis. So there. You do it. Go down to this. You do it. Disintegrate to this.
See, I knew I should have started with the actors. I thought, well, we'll go actresses first. It's nice,
Yeah. So what would
best
you
laid plans?
But they're great actresses. They're both great physically. They're both great with comedy.
They are.
They're both great with drama.
Sure.
Sigourney Weaver has done, I think, a more iconic role with Ripley, which has made her more of an icon. But Jamie Lee Curtis was the original not original screen queen, but she was she's the modern screen queen, if you will, because of the Halloween movies.
Sure.
My
vote was for Sigourney Weaver, and again, we're talking a game of inches here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only because I think Sigourney Weaver has successfully done more challenging material.
Yeah.
Doing the tougher material, especially early in her career, she did a lot of those, the tougher material, and so that was what I based on the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
I base it on sex appeal. He bases it on sheer acting talent. Boy, you made me look like now I look like a schmuck. Thanks a lot.
Well, I'm gonna have to just go, start picking. Yeah. Anyway.
Last one.
Goldie Hawn or Drew Barrymore?
Oh, wow. That's an interesting one. Well, both pretty good actors. I wouldn't call either one of them great by any stretch of the imagination. But Drew Barrymore seems to have more versatility in her. So I would go Drew Barrymore. Goldie Hawn is a good actress, but I mean, she never has been somebody that's blown me away with her abilities. Not that Drew Barrymore has, but she just seems way more versatile, in her roles. So I'd go Drew Barrymore.
Interesting. Well, I was actually voting for Goldie Hawn.
Really?
And of course,
we haven't agreed on any of these, but Maureen O'Hara, have we?
I think Maureen O'Hara is the only one we agreed on.
Right. That's just because.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I think Goldie Hawn is once again. I think it is an issue. I think she's done stuff that's a little more challenging and succeeded. Drew Barrymore, I think, tends to find projects to stay in a safe zone. I mean, she's very good at being a comedic actress, and she's wonderful at that. But I get the sense that sometimes she just she's very comfortable in that role, and she doesn't really stray too far. And I feel like Goldie Hawn took some chances.
Yeah, you don't really see Drew Barrymore in that little indie movie that's about some challenging social issues or anything. She pretty much always does the perky type, middle of the road stuff, and
right.
not as bad. I mean, she's
wonderful at it.
She's good at it, and she pays the bills with it. So
I mean, there's something to be said. Go with what you're good at. Just play to your strengths.
And that's the thing. Not every artist is intended to make dire social commentary. That's probably a whole other subject.
Right.
But what's so funny about that?
I'm just laughing about how this whole segment is gone. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, not every artist is meant to some people are just out there to entertain, and maybe that's what Drew Barrymore is kind of figured she'd do, because that's kind of how her career is going. It's just sheer, like entertainment type stuff, not really a whole lot challenging type things.
Yeah. Well, there is something to say hey, I get the people vote. I may not get my peers vote, but I do get the people vote, and I can't argue with that.
Yeah. He asked us to compare actresses and asked me not to base any of them on sex appeal. You do that with a lost cause.
Well, with that, we finished this segment.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Incredible Hoax as we wrap it up today, our Halloween episode.
Yeah.
And
started out as a Halloween episode, ended up the very shallow Hal episode.
That's one way to put it. Well, stay tuned on our next episode where we'll continue the rest of that.
By the way, I was Hal. I was the shallow one. You were the non-shallow guy.
And we'll get around to those actors we mentioned too. We have some actor sets that we'll discuss too, and we'll try not to be so.
You mean I won't try to be so? Ladies, be mad at me. You saw with your own eyes. He was trying to judge people on merits. I was being superficial. I'm the chauvinist.
Well, it's Halloween, so we're kind of doing a trick or treat thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were thinking more treat.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we should close out the show today and get back to our quote of the week.
Quote of the week.
We don't want to leave everyone hanging. Last week's we said, that's who you were. You do not know who you are, what you've become since the incident. And if you went online and guessed the film Memento, the Christopher Nolan film, you were correct. So if you said Memento, you were correct.
Not only were you correct, you were really smart, because I didn't know that one either.
Well, I figured that was a little harder. We gave such
an
easy one with Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, we'll try and mix it up.
Yeah, try to make it a little harder. This week's, I think, is kind of in the middle.
Okay.
By
the way, I don't hear these until he says them on camera.
Okay.
So just so they know that. I don't know if people realize, but we don't talk. We talk in general about this stuff, but the questions and stuff we spring on each other, we don't discuss them in detail until we're on camera.
Yeah, exactly. So you're getting a little bit of behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's kind of how we do it.
We're very off the cuff here.
Exactly.
This week's quote of the week for everyone to think about, it is, if they hadn't done what I told them not to do, they'd still be alive. One more time.
Love that one.
If they hadn't done what I told them not to do, they'd still be alive. And I know he knows that one.
That's I love this one.
And so everyone, we invite you to make your guesses and go online. And you can do this
on the Incredible Hoax Facebook page. Just search Incredible Hoax on Facebook. Write the answer on our wall. Share the page with friends. And
please do.
And also you can email us at hoke@redseatelevision.com. That's hoke@redseatelevision.com.
Cool.
Any last words, comments? Any more actresses you want me to idolize for the audience or tear down?
Next week we'll be drooling about Jessica Alba and Megan Fox. Stay tuned.
Phoebe Cates, Molly Ringwald. We'll go back to the 80s.
We'll have a retro.
We'll have a retro 80s.
Retro 80s.
Hot chick comparison thing.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But that's certainly been a fun Halloween episode.
Oh, did we do a DVD pick?
We did early in the show. We'll remind them. I I had picked Throne of Blood.
Oh,
Akira Kurosawa. Check it out.
Actually, 28 weeks later, didn't I?
And your pick was, that was one of your favorite.
Did I actually say one?
You did, and it was.
Did I say one?
If I can remember what it was. Crap.
Some pick I am.
Crap.
Some damn picker I am.
Crap. I know it wasn't How to Train Your Dragon. That was the week before.
Oh, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. That's exactly it. Yes, Dawn of the
Dead. Yeah. That's right. Dawn of the Dead was my pick of the week. Okay. Yeah.
But that might be scary if you take the music from Dawn of the Dead and play it with How to Train Your Dragon. Then that might get you to a scary place.
Or How to Train a Zombie. That might be a good movie. How to Train a Zombie.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is hearing this again.
Yeah, Hollywood
all right, now Josh Brolin for Dirty Harry.
How to Train a Zombie.
How to Train a Zombie. We're just giving all.
We're getting hosed.
We're getting hosed on this.
And speaking of getting hosed, we will see you next week.
What a way to end the show! Yeah!
So until then, I'm Chris.
I'm Mark.
And I bid you adieu.
He just had to go there.